We are on countdown. That's right. The Bitcoin halving is coming in just over 24 hours. But what do you need to know? And what is ultimately going to happen to your portfolio? Well, in this video, I want to try and break down a little bit so that you are going into this halving as educated and ahead of the market. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and let's dive straight into it. So here we go then. 1 day, 4 hours and counting. Now, this is a dynamic deadline day as this moves in line with the blockchain. Ultimately, 840,000 is the block in which the halving does take place. So we could see it at 11 minutes past 2 on the 20th. It could move to the 19th. It could move later on in the day on the 20th. We'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on. Make sure you follow me over on X, link in the description. But it's a big moment, the 4th time in Bitcoin's history that this has happened, but this one is different. And I'm going to try and break down that a little bit later on. But ultimately, for anyone who doesn't know what the halving is all about, this is probably the best argument for it. So if you understand Bitcoin, you'll know it's proof of work. Ultimately, miners solve a mathematical equation. They are then rewarded in Bitcoin. At the inception of Bitcoin, it was 50 Bitcoin per block. 2012 was our first halving at 25. Then 12.5 in 2016, 2020 saw us do 6.25, and this upcoming one in the next 24 hours will give us a 3.125 Bitcoin per block. Now, why do people think we are going to start to see a pretty big price rally on the back of it? Well, ultimately, miners instantly become less profitable. They earn less money based upon the rewards. Therefore, they don't sell their Bitcoin, which drives the price up. It is a simple mechanic of supply and demand. Now, lots of people are going to get caught out on this. Everyone expects the market to go wild and go crazy. We've seen huge price predictions, but this will simply take time. The reality is the market will probably cool off as history has depicted for us. So this chart gives us an idea of basically how long and what to expect. But like I said, this one is different. So the first halving came in 20th of November. We saw an 8,000% rally in the year following the halving. Pre-halving 385%. Roll that forward to the 9th of July. We saw 284% increase on the back of that. And finally, the 2020 halving came in at 538% increase. So if you take history, then you generally get a significant price increase. We generally see a dip before the halving as well. So everything right now, although people are telling us it's different, feels very much the same. And ultimately, we know that it's going to continue to do something pretty similar. Again, it depends how you look at it, but a lot of people do believe this time it is different. Here, this article coming out of CoinDesk saying, whatever theory you believe, it's worth noting that this Bitcoin halving is already markedly different. For one, it's the first time in Bitcoin history that Bitcoin's price has increased before the event. That's largely because of the launch of the nearly a dozen spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds, which have been vacuuming up Bitcoin at an unprecedented rate. BlackRock's Bitcoin fund, for instance, has the 5th fastest inflows of any EFT so far this year. And this is ultimately why people believe this time it is different. We're seeing huge inflows of those ETFs. We're seeing a scarcity, and people think I'm crazy when I say this. There's going to be a scarcity on Bitcoin very soon, especially when you look at what's happening, how Bitcoin's been built out, namely ordinal NFTs that are coming, BRC20 tokens, and even the newest iteration of what's going to launch, which is all about those Bitcoin instances and runes, which I think is going to be pretty crazy as well. So there's a ton of stuff coming on the Bitcoin ecosystem, as well as the halving that is going to come up as well. There's even predictions, Sacramento here, or Sakamuchi, saying that it could see a $200,000 Bitcoin in the next 3 to 4 months. That would be pretty wild in terms of that price hike. But what do you need to know? What are you doing with your cryptocurrency? What are you making sure that you are doing? Well, the reality is expect extreme volatility. We've already seen it over the course of the last few days, but certainly expect some real downside moves post the halving. Again, nothing is certain in this market. This is just my view. But in the long term, we're going to see a pretty extensive rally. We're going to see an absolute rocket ship to the moon. My predictions, anything between $120,000, $140,000, $160,000 on Bitcoin is my mean prediction as where we get to. If you kind of look at it in terms of a Fibonacci extension or a Fibonacci retracement, right now, we're in a little bit of volatility. You can see it here on the chart, ultimately breaking through the 286 Fibonacci. That's where we want to see the 236 Fibonacci. We want to hold this line at 63,500. Again, it's not the end of the world if we break below it when we start to then print and move to the upside. So certainly that's where we sit on a retracement. What's interesting though, on a trend-based extension gives us a potential indicator of where we're going. And again, the 786, 85,000. My view though, like I said, the 1.618, the golden Fibonacci, that top range at 112, could see us up around this 1618, 2618, between anything between 112 and $150,000. So lots of people predicting some significant moves in the market. Right now though, there will be increased volatility. People will panic. Be clear, the market's going to be a challenge. It's going to be volatile, but in the long run, we're certainly going to see a pretty big move. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm interested to know your Bitcoin price prediction for this bull market. Drop it down below in the comments. Let's see who gets the nearest. And until the next time, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.